and thank you. That we should all feel that we connect to each other. And by the way, and then I want to make this a very, very important point. October 7th, right? Those things that happen like that, in the tragedy that happened in Jewish history, this is to help us to see if we're really one and really connected and here for each other, right? I mean, you've seen the unity that has happened because of October 7th. It was incredible. We have seen things that we never experienced and saw before, right? We saw people like dropping their job, abandoning everything, and going there and bringing food and everything, new types of therapy, free therapy, all types of stuff. Because that's what God is asking. How much suffering do we need to go through to create more unity? How much? If we know that they say, all the rabbis say the same thing. If we are one, if we're really united, nothing can affect us. I mean, even looking at the thousands by today, I don't know, 50,000 missiles since the first Intifada. I don't know how many missiles we got in Israel. Like almost no Jew died from those missiles. It's insane. If you calculate the number, it doesn't make sense. There were some Arab commander that was interviewed and said, like, what's happening? How come you're not hitting? He says, because their God moved their rockets like that. Even they realize that this doesn't make sense, right? Statistically, it doesn't make sense. So God is here, but we have to feel that unity. And when you see a Jew suffer, do something. And we see rejoice with him. We have to learn to be more one. That's our ultimate challenge. There's nothing more difficult. Dealing with emotions, it is hard. But if we're here for each other, we will almost be stronger, and we wouldn't need to go with shocking experiences like that. And I hope that we'll never experience anything like that ever. But it requires us to be united and eating some delicious chicken and Persian rice, and that's and a bit tequila also. Any questions?
Yeah, what's the line between giving too much, not taking care of yourself, and giving?
It's a difficult question because everybody has a different level of energy and empathy he can have. I would say you gotta, when it affects your daily life to the point that you're not able to function for your own family, for your own self-care, then you're not able to do your own self-care, and you need to make a distance. Because you're supposed to save yourself first before you save others. Just like in the airplane, first you put it on you. So see the limit of your how much you can give without affecting too much your own personal life. Everybody's different. We don't all have to be on high alert, and we're not all paramedics. So
it also depends on the day, right?
Right.
Your best is different every day.
Right. That's true. It's on a rainy day, it's much harder. Great question. It needs to be checked. You have to check. You can check with your therapist or with your rabbi or with your whoever you have. You got to check yourself and with yourself. Any other questions? You can ask anything. Sex, drugs, rock and roll. Everything is allowed. There's no secrets in the Torah. Everything is revealed. So what do you want to know about?
Just the options.
Oh, okay. Okay, so just drugs or just rock and roll? Yeah, any more questions? What did you ever want to know that can be revealed now, perhaps? Who wants to know the secret? Yes.
Can I ask a question about you?
Yeah, sure.
What brought you to jump around learning with different religions?
At some point I realized that my life didn't make sense. Meaning that's life in general. Being born, living life, most of the time going through a lot of suffering. So you look at around the world, like it's a lot of people. You know, we're in America, we live like kings, but in most of the world, these third world countries, like the suffering. You go to Africa, you realize. And as a kid, I remember, you know, my mom says, in finishing, there are children in Africa who who don't have, you know, food, and you're wasting. You become aware about, you know, world, and it didn't make sense just to live and have a lot of suffering and die, and that's it. It doesn't make sense. I mean, we have a brain, we have a logic, right? So if there's a God and he created that logic, it must be that through my logic, I should be able to figure out what makes sense or not, right? So life didn't make sense as it was. And that's the first thing. And the second thing is that when I used to smoke, I was between 16 and 20, my experiential years, hippie years, I used to listen to music and look at the Milky Way and listen to Pink Floyd. You know? Right? And I was like, this is so powerful. It can't be for nothing. It didn't make sense that all those emotions, all this beauty, right? All the beauty in the world, all those experiences were just like there, and no, it's just a coincidence of nature. It's a chemical. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense at all. So it had to be there was something. So that pushed me to, you know, to start searching it. And you know, maybe it's a bit like what Avraham Avinu went through. You know, that there has to be something. So I searched, and the only thing that made sense, or at least that made the most sense, was Judaism. So that's around up here.
Can I ask a follow-up to that?
Yeah, of course.
So you would say, let's say you found meaning in Judaism.
Absolutely.
Did you ever feel like after you like
Become religious?
Yeah, did you feel as if there was a time in your life that you didn't feel that meaning that you originally felt?
No, because I was, I mean, maybe sometimes, but rarely, because because I'm a very spiritual guy, I spend a lot of time learning meaningful things, as opposed to my friends in yeshiva who were also becoming religious, who they were learning a lot of, well, we were all learning Gemara and Halacha, but they were focused mostly on Gemara and nothing else, or just on, you know, Halacha and more dry stuff, I would say.
That was the scandalous one.
Yeah. You know, it's like, you know, I want to know the secret. I want the spicy stuff, you know. Listen, if it's from God, and that, by the way, that's a very important thing. How do you know if a religion is the right one? Do you become a better human being? I realized I became a better father, a better husband, a better human being, a better lover of nature and of humanity. Like, which other religion creates a human being and makes you live at its maximum? I didn't find any other ways of life that maximize you as a human being and to live life at its fullest. And for me, Judaism is how you can be the most happy, or have the most powerful experience in life. But if you do Judaism the wrong way, it will destroy you. And that's the trick. And I remember this 3 times in the Gemara. I was shocked the first time I saw that. It says, if you learn Torah the right way, it's an elixir of life. And you know, you're gonna experience according to God. But if you learn Torah the wrong way, it's a deadly poison. That's what it says in the Gemara at 3 places, right? So if you take the medicine, right? We take Torah as like a medicine. But if you take the wrong amount of medicine and you don't use it properly, it's gonna destroy you. And the Torah is not different. We have to know how to do it properly. So huge. It's the Gemara itself. So it's.
I'm saying, like the guy who was that went into the parties, everyone that went into, they all went
Right.
crazy. They all went crazy.
Right, they are, except Rabbi Akiva. You came back. So yeah, it's important to know, you know, a thing. So the key is, okay, how can I live my Judaism in a way that I am happy? And how is Judaism, and when I say, how is this mitzvah supposed to help me in life? How is this halacha supposed to make me happy? If I feel that Judaism is putting me into a prison and halacha is restrictive, and therefore I feel like then or you're doing it wrong or you're understanding it wrong.
That's how my family. If you're not enjoying your Judaism, you're doing it wrong.
I agree.
If you're not enjoying your Judaism, you're not doing it right.
It can be that God created to be miserable by following His thing. It can be. It's absurd. It goes against who God is.
What?
I also have a question.
Oh, yeah, you agree?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
I have a really random question. I don't know if.
I love random
answer it,
questions.
Come
but
on.
What
I'm doing it.
I'm just wondering.
No, it's a good question.
My throat says it's-
The question is, what drug haven't I done? No. I do Torah. Torah is my drug. All of Torah.
I saw that. I would see it.
And you didn't see me snowboarding yet. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of powder there to sniff. Okay. No, but I actually never did anything else than smoking weed. And the reason for that is that when I was smoking weed or hashish, right, I was so high that I was afraid that if I take anything else, I would not come back. I would go crazy. So that's why I didn't do anything else. It was enough. And from all my friends, I was smoking the less.
Wow.
The least. Yeah, 25 years in America is not enough, I guess. The least. I mean, I have a master in social work. Like I passed. Maybe it's the AI. No, okay. Oh, sorry, it's on camera. Okay, but the idea is that I didn't need anything else. Thank God.
Question: what was the turning point that made you want to become religious? Was it like one idea or?
There were moments of wild moments when I say like, this is it. This is the truth. Some things were from similar to the discovery seminar. That certain things that was like, wow, this is just not normal. It's not human. Like, can anybody see that? And sometimes it was when I was learning moments and I saw how everything fits together on a level that it's not humanly possible. And I was like, wow, this is it. Michael Jackson's "This Is It" is not the first one. It's Michael Guttmacher. This is it. Okay. Anyway, any other? I always wanted to dance like Michael Jackson. I mean, it's not because my name is Michael, but and Michael G Jackson, whatever. I try sometimes, but no. Anyway, weddings. You had no, that was a question. Okay. Any more questions? Or am I free? Okay, to be continued. Thank you, everyone.